I just wanted to bring up a couple of more points about the meditative concentration before I get into how we're going to do it. Rinpoche describes it not only as, conceptual and intellectual, but also a kind of shamatha. So the word shamatha in the Tibetan language is a kind of one-pointedness. The mind is pacified because it's concentrated and focusing on one thing. And so in a way, if you think of meditation as having some kind of object, like perhaps the breath, or perhaps you're visualizing, like the syllable ah, or you're doing a simple visualization of Padmasambhava or something like that, then this would just replace that conceptual focus. And so we can understand this to be a kind of shamatha. The mind is certainly, even though it's in a conceptual place, certainly going to become more relaxed and more focused. And so in that way, it's not completely dissimilar from your meditation session, because there really isn't any ordinary practitioner who isn't using some conceptual reference point when they're practicing. If we go to the level of an extraordinary yogi, our teachers or the lineage masters, yeah, definitely, they're resting free of any conceptual reference point, and so it's a little bit different for them. But I think for us, it's kind of helpful to think of contemplating a topic as actually, going through the same motions, or concentrating and focusing the mind in the same way as the way we think we're doing it when we sit down to do sitting practice or sadhana practice. When we do sadhana practice, there's a lot of different conceptual aspects to it. We're doing recitation, we're using mantra, we're using visualization, we're using mudra. Sometimes we're using the music, like the bell or the damri, something like that. And all of these are, a kind of shamatha. Of course, there's more to the practice than that, but we can think of it as, these are the way that the mind is concentrating, and the mind is being trained by concentrating. So contemplation itself is a kind of mind training, because we're just simply training the mind in remaining in this thought, or diligently sort of recycling this thought, really thinking about it deeply, letting it make a deep impression on you. Like the example I just gave, happiness doesn't stand a chance. I can really let that thought settle into my mind. It makes a really deep impression on me.